Okay, hello, welcome back to another video. Welcome to Marxisms. I'm here with a couple of ladies that have seen a lot in the world and wanted to come on the show and talk about the things that are going on, talk about the things that have happened in their lifetime. One of them is my aunt. Her name is Karen, and the other one is Karen's friend, Annette. Anyway, so here they are. Karen is on the right, and Annette is on the left. Um, I suspect they're both on the left, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, no, wait a
Yeah,
minute.
right. Okay, so anyway, so let's start with Annette. I noticed that you have an academic email address. So are you in
Yes,
academics?
I was.
Hmm.
Fortunately, my school let me keep my email because I had it so long. I taught there for 36 years that my whole life was in that email. So at the
Right.
time, that was my only email. We didn't know about having different emails back then. And so they let me keep it, but I'm retired.
Okay. Lucky. Me too. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
It's great,
yeah,
huh?
yeah.
Okay, so why did you want to be on today?
Well, I think it's just because I feel sort of sad for my grandchildren. There's some that are one that's only 8 years old. He's only been alive during these 10 years of ugh, stuff.
Hmm.
And he's a happy kid. I mean, everything seems fine, but will he ever know what it was like before all of the censorship at the museums and taking out all the stuff about, I mean, I'm afraid his history will be skewed and not he won't get to know everything,
Yep.
and he will be too subjected to all this vitriol that's out there.
Yep. For
So
sure.
that's one of the things. The other thing is all this stuff. I can't sleep.
Yeah, I
It's
know,
just
right? Yeah.
driving me nuts.
I think we're all in that boat.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go back to the scene here. Okay, let's go to Karen. Well, Aunt Karen, my Aunt Karen. Um, why do you want to be on today?
Well, I thought about that a lot. And for me, it's all about our democracy. I am passionate about our democracy. And I remember I didn't realize how good a life I had when I was a young woman
Hmm.
and how lucky we were that there was no worry about losing your right to the First Amendment, that we would never be able to speak what we really think. And I'm concerned that we've taken a wrecking ball to our government. Not that there can't be improvement and change. I don't want anyone to think I don't think that.
Right.
But it's fearful. And I worry about my children, my grandchildren. They, some of them, like Annette's, are never going to know the life that we had. And it just is so concerning. I think we're on the edge, if maybe not already there, of losing what we grew up and loved all our lives.
Hmm.
And it's so sad. It's just, and I can't figure out how we got here. I, I mean, I can give you some things, but
Right.
it's just how did we get here?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I have the same thoughts on that too. I have myself have a grandson, and I have two children that are actually not, that old. They're 30 and 28, and I mean they have their whole lives ahead of them. And I hate that they have to they're inheriting this world from us somehow. It's really disconcerting. And I really feel for my grandson and how he has to live in this world. My mom talks about it too. Um, but anyway, yeah. So I that having been said by all of us, I wondering if there's any solutions. I mean, we look at history. You two probably know history as well as I do. I've studied it all my life. I don't know Annette, but I know my aunt Karen is an avarice reader, and I'm sure Annette is too, having been in education and in academia. And I know from my experience of reading history that it's really difficult once you go down this road, and we have gone down it. It's not a matter of if or when it's going to happen. It's happening. I mean, we're seeing it happen
Mhm.
every day. Where now Trump is going after his political enemies. Comey was just indicted. He's going after Bolton, who I mean was he was like me. He was a Republican who just said, "Yeah, no, this is not okay." I got there quicker than he did. I don't know why that is. I don't know why some people hang on. I have these discussions with people. It's funny. They call me, oh, you're a liberal, and talking about somebody was saying, yeah, oh, this is the way it was when they were saying that since Gore and all this, and it's like I'm reminding them, it's like you have to remember, I was on the Bush campaign. I worked for George Bush. I actually was the Sonoma County uh, um, communications director for the George Bush campaign. So, I mean, I've done politics and I've done my politics on the right. And there's as somebody who was a lifelong Republican, there is no way that I could continue to support this Republican Party under the Tea Party and Donald Trump because they aren't Republicans, they're fascists. And that's a
Right,
fact.
right,
Yep.
right.
Is there anything in particular any of you would like to talk about? It's probably, let's say it's Annette's turn. Is there anything in particular you would like to talk about with regards to what's going on?
Oh, there's so much, I don't even know where to start. But I guess what bothers me is how it is so blatantly corrupt and nobody can seem to do anything about it. Like,
Yep.
how can he be blowing up ships in international water and nothing's happening? I mean, maybe it is, but I don't know. And the second thing is, I don't know what to believe anymore. Everything is so skewed and so spun and so AI and all that, that I try to find the most legitimate outlets for information, and yet I feel very helpless and hopeless of getting the real story of anything.
Yeah.
And basically, that's, I guess, at my age and my health, I can't go out and do a lot, but I'm trying, and I just waver between I can't do anything and I've got to do something. It's
Yeah.
like I don't know where I'm at in there.
And there's not a lot that anybody can do other than going out and protesting and stuff like that. But I mean, we know that has such minimal effect. And I don't know, Annette, if you're aware of Karen may have told you about a friend of mine who was arrested in Spokane. A friend of mine's son, actually. I know him. I know the son as well.
I
But
don't think she did. I don't think I know this.
okay, I will send you some information on it. But
Okay.
they're called the Spokane Nine. I'll go over it real quick with you. They're called the Spokane Nine, and there was a guy named Ben Stuckert who was a city council member there, and he had resigned to go into private practice as a lawyer, I believe. But they had a couple of immigrants who were here legally. They weren't
Mm-hmm.
illegal, and they were
Mm-hmm.
detained because they were on refugee status, which is a legal way to come to the United States. They were on refugee status, and they were being. One of them actually ended up self-deporting because of all the nonsense. But Ben Stuckert had called on, like, I think a Reddit page or something like that for people to come out to protest. And this friend of mine who came out, his name is Bajan Malvawala, and he is actually the great grandson of one of Gandhi's godchildren.
Wow.
Yeah, my friend Bajan's his he's I've known Bajan forever. We went through scouts together and stuff, and their whole thing is about peaceful protest. They believe in the country. Both of them were military. They both served in Afghanistan, and in fact, younger Bajan saw a lot of action there. And what the administration is doing is they're using this particular thing, and this should be national. It is national news, but it should be more keyed on because they're using this guy as an example, and they're using it as a test case to basically stop us from protesting. They were peacefully protesting. The only violence that took place with regards to Bajan was an ICE agent trying to grab him and pull him behind their gate, and he just wriggled away from him. He wasn't going to let him do that.
Yeah.
But they were peacefully protesting, and they're being charged with conspiracy to injure federal agents. I mean, that's a serious charge. This could get him 6 years in prison if he's convicted.
This whole regime is just a whole pack of lies. Everybody is allowed to lie.
Yep. Yes,
And
indeed.
I'm sure that was a lie. He didn't do that. I mean, I hope there's a video.
It's all on video. Yeah, and you
Yeah.
could see clearly that this guy tries to grab him and pull him, and that at no point does he try to hit him or anything like that. He just gets away. He just wriggles away. That's all he ever does.
Yeah.
And I'll send you the information on that.
It's always about obstruction. They always say, "Oh, well, they were obstructing the federal agents."
Right.
Baloney.
Well, the people who were committing a crime were the ICE agents,
All
because these
right.
people were here legally. And now, if Trump changes the rules, here's something that I've talked about this with my girlfriend a lot lately. That if a law's in place and you're going by that law, and they change the law in the middle of it, you still have a reasonable expectation to know that you were working under the law. It's like when we had a situation in California back when I was a Republican, where the Supreme Court had ruled that gay marriage was okay, which was not really legal. But the people that got married during that time period, they had a reasonable and that was always my argument. They shouldn't those marriages shouldn't be null and void, because they had a reasonable expectation to believe that they were married legally, because they were told by the government that they were.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you agree with what the decision was, I didn't agree with the Supreme Court decision here in California, not because I was against gay marriage, just because they didn't do it correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody. I didn't have a problem if somebody had come with a case, and then they ruled on it, but they didn't do that. They just kind of declared, and they made their own law, which
Mm-hmm.
which it that's I'll tell you what, that's something that's bothered me about the liberals over the years, and I've warned people about this, that if you do things that are outside of the law, the other side will do them too when they get into power. It's just like with these executive orders. Clinton, I mean, going back to, I don't know if Ronald Reagan did it so much with the executive orders, but Bush, and Clinton and Trump, or not Trump, but well, yeah, definitely Trump, but Obama. They start doing more and more and pushing that envelope towards legislation. I was warning people that if the other side does it, it's going to hurt everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And now here we have a guy that he just makes law willy
Willy
nilly,
nilly.
willy nilly, willy nilly, with using executive orders, and that is not
Mm.
constitutional. That's not what that was ever meant to do. And so I give the Democrats a lot of blame as well.
Right. And there's other things that I know the Democrats fell down on a lot of stuff. I'd
Yep,
agree with that. But that doesn't make any of this stuff
it
right.
absolutely does not.
Hmm.
Yes.
And so it's, I mean, back in the day before I was really political, I always said all politicians, I can't trust any of them. I'm an independent. I'll vote who I think is right
Yep.
at the time. But I always lean Democratic. But
Hmm.
I'm back to this. Can't trust any of them.
Well,
I
that's
hate to say that.
that's just it. Karen, would you like to chime in here?
Yeah, well, you kind of brought up one of the things that two things I'm really upset about. I'm a registered nurse, by the way, for anybody out there.
Mm-hmm.
And this whole thing with the health department and CDC and FDA, this is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to use that word, but it's crazy. And we are going to end up paying a dear price for what our Robert Kennedy Jr. has done.
Wait,
And
Bobby
Trump
Brainworm.
right with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And people don't see it. My issue is, what happened to the good people? What happened to people who decided? I'm going to give you an example. I was thinking about this whole Epstein thing
Yeah.
and how there are people who know the facts. There
Yep.
are. They're
Yes.
out there.
Yeah.
Why? If I knew the facts, I would have made sure they were out there.
Yeah.
I would not want a man elected to president
Yep.
who I knew participated in anything with Epstein.
Yeah. And on
And
that,
I don't care, and I don't care who they are, who the
yeah,
people are.
exactly.
You know,
On that note, I agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's been actually pretty good on this, and she said, "I
yeah,
don't care who's on that list," and so I think she genuinely cares. I think she's a
right,
nut otherwise, but I think she
Right.
genuinely cares that
right.
hey, these men, look what they're doing, and
That's right.
yeah,
And
and
it's not just Trump. I mean, there's a lot of other big, high influential people that need
yeah.
to be held accountable.
Well, the main reason why it wasn't outed by the Democrats is because of Bill Clinton.
Yeah, and I don't
Oh,
care. Bill Clinton can go, where, as far as I'm concerned. They all should.
I agree. And that's what everybody says. It's like, what about Clinton? I'm like, what about him?
Yeah, we
Yes,
don't
yeah,
let's
care.
we don't care.
prosecute him. Yeah.
That's right.
I mean, if
Yeah,
he's a
and
dirtbag, he's a dirtbag. I don't care what party he's
but
from.
we
Yeah,
do know one thing. It's all about money.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
you're
And
right.
that's, I
And
think, the
power.
hardest thing for me is I
Right.
see all this firing all these people, cutting all these programs, and then using money to give ICE $50,000 signing bonuses. And wait a minute, if you got money for that, why don't you have money for pediatric cancer research, or just to keep everybody from having to go bankrupt just trying to live?
But
So it's all about
do
money.
you
And
know what the ultimate goal is, right? You know why they're doing this.
well, I think the ultimate goal is all white rich men.
Well, it's they want to privatize everything. They want to
Yeah.
privatize
Oh,
the
that
roads.
absolutely.
They want to privatize the
Yeah,
roads, the railroads, all of
right.
industry. And I look at what's
Hmm.
funny is everybody, they call I get called a communist. It's like I used to be a Republican committee member,
Yeah, no, no, no.
and but
If the Supreme Court hadn't let them have this unlimited amount of campaign money to start with,
yeah.
we may not be here. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a huge problem. It always has been. I've always argued for that. They say, "Oh, that's the First Amendment," and that's why for a while there, I was like, "Okay, you know what? Let's stop taxing corporations, but let's tax all of the money that the people that own the corporations make." And then
Yeah,
Right.
you're taxing the people, and then see that's the thing. Then the corporations don't have representation because they're not being taxed, and so
Right.
that's where they get all that. And so I've
Hmm.
always made the argument: let's not tax corporations, but we'll tax every penny that they make. Now, what they would do, people say, well, yeah, but they'll just hide the money in the corporation. Yeah, but then they have to do something with that money, you know. So
Right.
if they're holding money and having a surplus, then that's a different thing, and there should be rules about that. And I mean, I kind of have a solution to that problem, but unfortunately, the you can't have that solution when the people who are getting paid by these corporations, Republicans and Democrats, won't do it.
Hmm. Right. Well, it's just like I just had this discussion with someone the other day. Social Security could be fixed tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely.
All they have to do is take the cap off, and everyone should have to pay Social Security on your income,
Yes.
period. It would be flush. We would never, ever be here.
Yep.
And it's because what you said, Mark, they want to privatize
Yep.
Social Security.
Yep.
And that will never work. It will not work.
No, people are too greedy with their
Because,
money.
right. But the other thing I wanted to talk about is, and I know Annette feels this way, and I'm sure you do. I worked with immigrants, Mark, for 15 years since I retired.
Yep.
And I work with kind, loving people
Absolutely.
who only want a better life.
That's right.
I know there's criminals, I know there's bad people,
Right.
and I don't have any issue with those. If
Yep.
they're bad, they should be gone. Number one.
Agreed.
Number two, why would we want this country was founded
Mm-hmm.
on immigration, founded. And somebody pointed this out to me, and I kind of think this is I just never thought of it. As much as I love history, I just never thought of this. Why would we think it would be any different than when our forefathers came to America and
Mm-hmm.
look what they did to the Native Americans?
Yep.
They came here and they took away their land. They committed genocide
Yep.
with the Indians,
Yep.
and they did not think twice about doing it.
Yes.
But the bottom line, these are good people. And I get so upset every time I see a video where these people, these ICE people, I guarantee you, they are ICE, they're militia, they're
The
Proud
Proud
Boys,
Boys.
Yep.
or ICE. I meant Proud Boys, militia, KKK,
Same
the
difference.
Nazi groups. They're all
Yeah.
of them.
Boogaloos, three percenters,
That's right.
and oath keepers.
That's
Yep.
right. All of them, because they're loving it.
But
And
Yes.
that's why they're wearing masks.
but only Antifa is a terrorist organization. None
Yeah.
of the other ones.
And the thing I'd like to point out about Antifa is not an actual. All those are
No,
actual
No,
groups.
no.
Antifa is not a group.
right. It's
Antifa
just a
simply means
label.
anti-fascist.
It's just a
And
That's
label. It's not a
right.
group.
I have a friend that he always says that to me. Well, you're Antifa, and I'm like, yeah, I am. I am anti-fascist, and you're what? Pro-fascist?
Yeah,
You know,
I
exactly.
and
know.
he uses it. He spells it like it's some kind of like it's a group name or whatever. And I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, that's not what it is. It's just
No.
it's just people that there's no organization. It's just the
No.
people that got out there and said, yeah, well, we're anti-fascists. You know,
Yeah.
That
and you
And
know,
yet
that
that's the
it's
only thing that he was calling a terrorist
well, I
organization.
know, and it's silly because it's not
It's
even
so ludicrous.
it's
I
not even a
know.
group that exists.
I
That's what's
know.
funny about it, and I
Well,
love
he
that.
doesn't care. He says whatever he thinks his base will eat up.
I have a picture of an American cemetery in Normandy, France,
uh-huh.
and then the caption says, "After 8 years of trying, the Trump administration has finally found the headquarter of Antifa."
Uh,
And that is true.
Yeah,
But the thing is, what we're doing to immigrants is disgraceful. The
yeah,
other thing, why don't people see this? If you want to deport immigrants who are here illegally, okay, deport them back to their country. No, we are sending them to El Salvador,
yep,
to Ghana, to many places in Africa that are in a war, and
right,
they don't care. Nobody seems to care that 1,200 people are missing from Alligator Alley. They
right,
don't have any documentation of their names, where they went. They're either dead or they're some other country.
right.
That
Well,
that's it.
and the thing is like he promised. And so some of them still believe it because they watch Fox News, which is
Oh, I
absolute
know.
lies. I used to watch Fox News, and they in the earliest days they were very much fair and balanced. They had their right wingers and they had their left wingers. They are not that way anymore.
Right,
Not in any
right.
stretch under any stretch of the imagination. But you look at MSNBC and everybody says, "Oh, you heard that on MSNBC." Well, MSNBC has Republicans like Michael Steele
Oh,
on there.
oh
Real
yes,
Republicans.
that's
People that really
right.
care about this country and the Constitution,
That's
and
right.
other contributors and whatnot. I met Michael Steele once actually at a convention, and he was having breakfast behind us, and so we were turning around and chatting with him a little bit. Not trying to interrupt his breakfast and the conversation he was having, but letting him know that we really respected him and everything else. But he's a sharp guy, and he's one of the him and Liz Cheney. You might not agree with their politics, but at least they're
he's
patriots.
and like Adam Kinzinger and
Yep,
Yes, Adam Kinzinger,
yep.
Joe
Walsh,
Walsh.
Walsh,
I
yep.
mean, they're all people
who are
that
trying
saw
to
it for
do the
what
right
it
thing.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, just like me. I
right?
mean, everybody I've had people tell me, "Oh, you're just a sheep." And I'm like, "I'm a sheep. I went against my flock. Are you kidding? How am I a
Yeah.
sheep?" You know?
How's that work?
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
definitely not.
and the thing is, and that's what I wish that they would let liberals say this, because I consider myself probably a liberal.
Hmm.
But you know what? I do not believe the Democratic Party is perfect.
No.
They have just as many problems, just as many issues. But what we have to do, and I don't see it happening, I want to go back to the days when I remember, because I've been into politics since I was in high
I was gonna
school,
say long
really,
before I was born, huh?
long time. And one of the things is, I always admired Tip O'Neill. He's probably the biggest one, I would say,
Uh-huh.
because he would say, you know what? I'm going to lock you in a room, and guess what?
Yep.
Nobody wins. You got to give, and we have to come to the middle and make a compromise until, um, help me, Newt Gingrich. He was the beginning of the change. Newt Gingrich really was the start. The Tea Party and Newt Gingrich. They they didn't want to compromise on anything. Period.
That's for
And
sure.
that's really kind of where it started, kind of went downhill. Just like McConnell. McConnell, I hope he knows it's his fault where we're at, why we're where we're at. He had the opportunity to get rid of Trump,
You
and he
mean
would.
Merritt? You mean Merritt? You don't mean McConnell.
Pardon?
You don't mean McConnell, do you? Don't you mean Merritt
McConnell.
Garland?
McConnell's the one who's obstructed all through Obama's,
Yeah.
and then obstructed the. He knew that
Oh, I
Trump was
thought you
Yeah.
were
bad.
talking about Merrick Garland. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
hmm But they just don't seem to see that. But what I can't figure out, because you were a Republican, Mark,
Hmm.
how did the Republican Party get to the point
I can tell you.
where they'll do whatever Trump wants?
I can
Well,
tell. I can tell you.
tell us.
What?
This is what they've always wanted. This is
Yeah.
there's not all of them. There was the people like me who cared about the Constitution, and I honestly thought we'd see tyranny come from the left and not from the right,
Yeah.
which is because I've always been fairly independent in my politics, and agree with what I know rather than who says what. And I always thought it would come from the left, and obviously I was wrong on that because here we are.
I know, but
But
yeah,
but
right.
but what happened was we had a situation where we had been working on like racism and things like that, and um, and that's what this is. This immigration thing, it's racism. This is not.
Oh, it is.
It has nothing to do with who's here
I mean, anybody
illegally.
could see that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like my friend Bajan, whose son was arrested. His name is Bajan Malvawala. He's got long hair and a ponytail. He's liberal. He goes to protests, and so that's why he's being made an example of. And in fact, if you look at the Spokane Nine, all the people that they arrested after the fact, they're mostly minority.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, this is racism, and so what's happened is you've brought racism out of the woodwork, and then you get the people who from the South who cracks me up. It's like, no, but the Democrats were the Ku Klux Klan. It's like, no, your
What?
ancestors were, and you're now Republican. So what does that tell
Wow.
you? Because
Yeah.
back then, the Democratic Party was the conservative party,
Right.
and the Republicans were the
conservative
liberal
meant-
party.
Yeah, conservative meant something different, though.
Yes, and it does in Europe to this day. Conservative and liberal is because our founders were considered liberal. They were men of the Renaissance, basically.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
and
Well,
Sorry.
But this
Karen
goes
knows
back
what
a
I.
long way.
Go
What?
ahead, Karen. Go ahead.
Oh, this goes back to the Second World War. There were many
Yeah.
GOP and some Democrats who supported Hitler,
that's right.
but it was very under the, kind of under the wire. People
Yeah.
didn't realize it. And it had to ended up going underground during Truman's time. But then it came back as McCarthyism.
Right.
And I think we're back there again.
Well, and
But
go ahead, Annette.
Obama getting elected is what brought them all out.
Yeah, honestly,
yeah,
yeah, you're right. I mean that they were outraged by it, and Obama didn't help because he actually, I remember early on in his presidency. Remember when that a professor who came home, he came home, he was drunk, and I like the guy. I can't remember his name now, but I actually like him. But he came home drunk, and a cop was asking him, what are you doing here? Why are you breaking into this house? But the guy was acting funny because he'd been drinking, and so the cop was kind of in his rights by doing that. And Obama came out and called him a racist and everything else, and that infuriated people. And you know what? I think Obama made a huge mistake on that.
Yeah.
And then they ended up having what was called the beer summit. I don't know if you remember
Oh,
all that.
I do remember that
And
now.
and
Yeah.
that was a big Obama blew it on that. I mean, I look back at I'll tell you, I didn't agree with Obama's politics on a lot of things, but I think he's a decent person.
Yeah.
Eh,
Well,
Oh,
compared to
absolutely.
what's going on now, just
Oh yeah.
calling that.
I,
I mean, it's
okay.
almost ludicrous.
Now my question is, I want to know, both of you, who's going to come out if we save this,
Hmm.
which I do believe we could save our democracy. I
Yeah,
do.
I do too.
But it's going to take leadership that people will believe.
Right. Well, that's what I'm like about Gavin Newsom. He's
Oh,
actually
I
doing
agree.
a great job. He's taken that role on.
Yeah.
Alexandria Ortega Cortez also.
Oh, absolutely.
And they
Yep.
call her an idiot. They've made it. I mean, if you were a Republican, I remember back in the day when she first, oh, how dumb she was. And I just honestly, didn't know that much about her and thought, okay, yeah, And then I've actually heard her speak, and I'm like, well, she's not an idiot. She's actually really
No,
smart. She's very
that's right.
intelligent. And then, of
And there
course,
are good people.
there
There are.
are. And then
Right.
and then we have another guy who is the best, and you're going to know exactly who I'm talking about. He's always the smartest guy in the room, and I always say this, but he has one thing that's going to hold him back, and that he's
Pete
gay. Yeah,
Buttigieg.
exactly.
Oh, Buttigieg.
Yep.
I think he is absolutely wonderful.
Yep.
Do you
But
know? I'm just curious, Mark. Do you know who James Tellerico is?
The name sounds familiar.
Well, I really like him, but he could be quite too far one way or something. I don't know, but I just wondered if you do. We don't have to talk about it. I just wondered.
Oh,
I
okay.
really
yeah,
like him.
Oh, okay. I'll have to
yeah.
check. I'll have to check that out.
Check
He's
him
running
out
in
because he's really
Texas.
good.
And what's his
Yeah.
He's
what's his
running in
name? It
Texas.
sounded familiar.
James Tellerico. He's
Oh,
running in Texas.
okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, definitely. I do know who that is. Yes. Actually, I think
And
I
he's going to
follow him on
run for Senate.
Facebook. I follow
Yeah.
him on Facebook.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He's a real young guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know who else I think is good? And he really got, I'm not real sure how it happened, but okay, now I'm having a senior moment.
Yeah.
He's from Texas, El Paso. He ran for
Beto? You talking about
Beto
Beto. Yeah.
O'Rourke.
Yeah. That's down my way.
Oh,
That's down near I'm 44
right,
miles from
right.
from
hmm
from there. Yeah.
He's like Buttigieg.
Yeah.
He's very calm, logical, thinks things through. I am very impressed with Newsom.
Yeah.
He really has taken the bull by the
He's
horns.
got his baggage though.
He
I
does.
know
He does.
he has a lot of
California is
baggage,
a
Yeah, he
real
does.
deal.
but if he's the one that could do it, I'm certainly not going to argue. But we
You kind
got
of
to
need a
let
rough
go.
and tumble guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we got to let go of the old. What word did we use today, Annette? The Democrats who think it has to be done.
Chuck
Use the
Schumer.
quote. Yes, yes.
That guy's he's got to go.
They're hung up on the way it used to be.
Yeah,
And you
right.
got to get past that.
Yeah.
You got past
And
that.
that's why I was pissed when they got rid of Hogue, the Democrats,
Oh, I
because
know. Me
he
too.
was absolutely right. And I've argued this with a couple of people who are a little older. Yeah, but you got to have these people with experience. It's like, oh, the ones that screwed this whole thing up to begin with? Yeah, no.
Right.
Nope.
No,
What-
David
what-
Hogue is Annette and I both just love him.
Yeah.
And he's starting to come back where you see him more now.
Yeah.
And you know, my biggest problem lately is I listen to some good guys like Annette and I both listen to Glenn Kirshner.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Smart guy.
On Substack,
Really,
huh?
right, Substack.
Yeah.
And I really like him. He was
I
a
do too.
prosecutor. But he tells us all these things, which I agree with. But what are we going to do about it?
Yeah.
That's just it, and nobody seems to be able to do that. At least with Gavin, I love the way he just mocks Trump, all caps, and talks like him. I'm the most handsome governor, and all this stuff. It's hilarious, but it's good. It's good theater, but it doesn't really get us where we need to be.
Yeah. Right.
No.
I like his new rule in California about masks. They need to do more things like that.
But can they do anything if if the agents are masked, what can they do about it
They
if they
could
break
arrest
it?
him. I don't know if that will
I don't
happen, but
know.
see, that's the kind of thing that needs to happen. It's like
Yeah,
That's
it's like with these
true.
Russian incursions over with aircraft over
over
Europe,
a lot.
and
Yeah.
then they escort them back. They need to just shoot them down, just like the Turks did when they did it tried it with the Turks. Well, guess what? They never tried it again. That's
Yeah.
what, and they're saying that they're going to do that, and that's what they need to do because that's how you
Mm.
deal with a bully. We all know
I
that.
don't know. I know.
We all
I
know
don't
that. I
know.
learned it from
Well,
I
and
learned it
that's
from
the
Grandpa.
problem. That's the problem in the White House is the bully that's living there.
Yeah.
But question I have to ask you, this is just off the side a little bit, but it's all about this.
Hmm.
How are historians and people who care about our country allowing him to destroy the White House? I mean,
I
yesterday
know.
he replaced Joe Biden's picture with an auto pen.
Yeah, I mean it's just childish behavior on
It
on the
is.
part of a narcissist. I mean,
It is, I
it's
know, and he is truly the top of the line
I
oh
really
narcissist.
oh
think
definitely. There's no
I
question that
think
he's a
Trump was
narcissist.
traumatized by his father when he was 12 and he
Yeah,
never got past that. He's still a 12-year-old.
yeah. But unfortunately, like
He,
you were asking me before about why, where did we come to this place? What happened is you had that Tea Party movement. And the Tea
oh,
Party,
absolutely
they called themselves libertarians or Ron Paul libertarians. Now they're not
right.
though because they're doing stuff. I mean, Rand Paul's out there. He's kind of in some ways is on our side.
I
Not
know.
100%, but he's kind of a true libertarian of the old world where yeah, no, we can't be doing this kind of stuff. But what happened was is that people jumped on that movement and a lot of them were racist, and let's face it, we were talking about that earlier. America has always been a racist country.
Oh,
We all
absolutely.
three know that. We know our history, and I have friends say, well, yeah, oh, you think the blacks were treated bad, what about the Irish? And I'm like, yeah, that's my point. It's like
I know.
anybody who came here that you didn't like, that we didn't like, they were on the top of the shit pile as far as that went. And that's
Mhm.
just it's like but you can't compare what the Irish went through. I mean, it's like I
Well,
point out
the Ita-
my
the
Irish.
Italians got a little bit of it too.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, yeah, the Irish and the Italians, because are you Italian?
I
Yeah,
am.
Yeah.
I'm a little Italian too. Yeah, believe it or
Oh,
not. I found that in my DNA. I was so surprised.
oh my.
Oh,
Yeah, but and actually, your son Karen also I noticed because he's on. I saw him on there, and he's got 2%. I don't know whose side that's on.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think
I think it's on the carpenter
it
side.
must be because that's where I'm
Yeah,
getting it from too.
yeah,
And it
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised at that. It's like, wow, really? All right. I knew because I love Italian food, and
yeah.
actually I used to be an Italian chef at a restaurant.
Wow.
And so I actually love Italian food. I still make it all the time. It's one of my favorites, but I have to watch it in my diet so I don't eat too much of it
Hmm.
anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
but but
No,
yeah, so you get these this long term, and racism, let's face it, it's a learned behavior. It's not
mhm.
something that you're born, because you take a black kid, a Chinese kid, and an American or a white kid, and you put them on a playground together, and they won't know any difference. But
Right.
No,
the minute they start hearing, learning this stuff from their parents or from a peer, that's when you become racist. This is a learned behavior. It's not natural, and
Maybe,
it's not normal.
maybe this country is finally paying for that. I don't know,
Well,
but
we are.
yeah,
yeah.
And
yeah.
and see, that's why they tolerate Trump. They love what he's doing. They don't care. They don't really care. These so-called constitutional patriots, 1776ers, they don't really care about the Constitution. They don't really understand it. They don't know it. They just what they'll do is they'll say you've never read the Constitution and you've never read the Federalist Papers. Well, I got news for you. I've read both of those, and I know the Constitution very well. I've read the Federalist Papers. I have a copy of it in my bookshelf over here. And in fact, when we were talking about Tip O'Neill, I was looking over there. I put Karen up on the screen, and I was over there looking for my book, "Man of the House" by Tip O'Neill,
Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
which I couldn't find it, but I have it somewhere.
I
But
know.
yeah, so I agree with you. I know about him. See, I'm a
Yep.
historian. I read about these people, so I get it.
It,
That's
Yeah,
it is.
I have a question. Do you think it, and seriously, I have no idea, but would it ever be possible to just not have political parties and let everybody just run on their own platform what they think and want to
Well,
do?
here's the thing: political parties just kind of happen naturally because what happens is you have people with common interests that get together to get people elected, which is how the party started in the first place. In the beginning, our American founders were actually against political parties. They did not want factions.
That's
They're
right.
considered factions,
Hmm.
and they didn't want that. And then James Madison, he thought it would be a good idea to since everybody broke into factions, they broke into mainly two factions: the Federalists and the Anti-Federalists. And
Yeah.
the Federalists became the Whigs, and then the Republicans, and the anti-fascist or anti the Anti-Federalists became the Democratic or Democratic Republican Party, and then eventually the Democratic Party under um, Andrew Jackson. But that ended up being an even bigger mistake because then it seemed like a good idea and it worked really well for a long time having two parties, two factions that were fairly similar in a lot of ways. Obviously, we had some issues like the Civil War and whatnot, but ultimately we'd be better off having multiple parties
Yeah.
since we're
Yeah.
going to naturally have parties. It's just going to happen because
So is there any way that we could just change the campaigning to be like just for 6 months or some normal amount of time
that would be good. You see, these are all things that have been talked about too.
and a cap on the money and
Well,
Term
Canada, it's
limits.
3 months. 3 months for the
uh-huh.
prime minister in Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah, and no corporation should be able to put money in.
No
I
corporation should be allowed to, and that's why
So
we have to
so
stop taxing them.
how does that happen? How would we ever get that to be? I don't know.
Yeah,
If
well, that's therein lies the problem, Annette. The people who are in charge don't have the will to do it because
that's
that's where
right.
they make money.
Do you
Yep.
think if all these young new people that are coming up
Yes.
might do it? I mean, might be able to do
Yes.
something?
Well, look at Alexandria Ortega Cortez.
Right.
Yes, I can pronounce her name.
Oh,
And Hogue. And there's another gal
Mhm.
who I just found. I just started following her. She's running in I can't remember what state it was, but she's running under no can. She's like, I am not accepting money from corporations. So there is a
right.
trend in this direction,
I
and
hope so. Oh
that's
my
those are
gosh.
the
It's
people we need to elect
yeah.
because
Right.
It's going to take a long time though.
it's always follow the money. It's
Yeah.
always follow
Well,
the money.
you know who I love, Mark, and she is running again. She's from California. She was from Orange County. Katie, she's the money person. She always had a blackboard.
Oh, I know
Oh,
what
I
you
know who
mean.
you're talking
Yeah.
about,
Yeah, yeah,
and
Uh,
yeah.
can't think of her
I
name.
want I want to say something like
oh,
Porter or
Katie,
something.
her name is Katie. I know it is.
Yeah.
Katie
I
and
is it
Mark. Oh, I
it's not
can't think of her.
it's not Porter, is it? I don't know.
Yes,
That
Katie Port.
Porter,
Kate,
yeah,
that's who it is.
that is
Porter.
exactly who it
Yeah,
is. Yep,
hmm
yeah.
former United
And
States
she,
representative. Yeah.
right. And she's running again now.
Oh, good.
And she takes no money from any, only small donations. That's the
Yep.
way it is.
Well, that's
And Beto O'Rourke was like that.
yeah,
But of course, now his biggest problem was he lived in Texas and he lives in a corrupt
yeah,
political state.
yeah. It is very
environment.
corrupt.
Corrupt.
It's very corrupt.
Right.
Paxton and Abbott are as corrupt as they come.
Absolutely. Oh
But
God, yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
And that
And I
Paxton.
just,
Ugh.
oh, he's bad, bad, bad. But I just, there was something I was going to say before. When you were talking about the Tea Party, I really, because that's what I did, Mark. When this all started, I thought, how did this all begin? And I went back to the Newt Gingrich and the Tea Party. That's really where it began again.
But it really,
And
but
King-
if you really, where it really began, these whole it was actually Ronald Reagan. And
oh,
I
no, I agree.
I kind of hate to say that because I grew up being a Reagan supporter. He was the first person I ever voted for. I loved him, and the more I read my history and read about, and I followed all that stuff when it went on, but I understand things better now. I'm like, God, he was a traitor. He was an
Yeah.
absolute traitor. Really.
Yeah, and we learned the
Yeah.
hard way. And I think now this is silly, but you learn from your mistakes, I guess. But
Some
Nixon
of us.
was one of the greatest mistakes we ever made. He
Mm,
should never have been able to walk. He
agreed.
should have been punished for what he did. We set precedent, and that's how
Yeah.
Trump is getting away. But
And they
that's the other thing.
and Ford did it to heal the nation, and everybody hailed it
Oh,
as a
yeah.
good thing. Republican and well, not all Democrats, but for the most part,
Yeah.
it was hailed as a. And in retrospect, it was a bad idea at the time. It was
No,
probably,
I agree.
he's probably was doing the right thing. Ford was actually a not a bad guy,
Oh,
you
oh
know.
no, he was not a bad guy. No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Well,
Well,
you
and
know what?
the
They
other,
got to stop being nice.
yeah,
Well,
and
that's
the other
it.
big thing is the Supreme Court.
Oh God.
What
Oh,
are we
I
going
had
to do about the
if
Supreme Court?
if the Democrats ever get in again, can they? Everybody knows that Clarence Thomas is corrupt.
Oh,
That
clearly.
can they do?
And
Can they
Alito,
just bar him or something? I
Well,
mean, it
the
just
Supreme Court justices can be impeached. This has never happened. Um,
well, I
no,
think it's time.
I agree.
no, they need to be impeached. And it needs to be the rules need to be changed. You should not be on it for life.
No.
And I really am beginning to think they should be elected.
Elected, yeah.
Yeah, but I have to tell you too, having them on for life has staved off this conservative fascist movement though for a long
Up till
time.
up till
But
now.
Well,
unfortunately
yeah,
now it's on the shoes on the other foot, you
yeah.
know.
Now we're paying the
Well,
price for it.
and if the Democrats get in, the shoe will be on the other foot because our president will have immunity as well.
I know. And that's another thing. Presidents should not have immunity, and I think
No.
that's an incorrect ruling.
It is
Um
terrible. It's just
Yeah,
terrible.
they shouldn't be allowed to do whatever they want to, and I mean, we see that, especially stuff outside of, you know, they should have
I mean,
prosecuted him.
he should.
They did
No.
prosecute him. They should have
They
put him in
should.
jail.
They
34
should never
felonies for
let him
God's
be in
sakes.
again. No, he shouldn't be in here again.
That
No,
that should never have happened.
no, I agree.
And that's the one thing I blame Biden and Merrick Garland for.
Yeah, me too.
They had the power that they could have done. First of
Yep,
all, they could have made it so he could not run for president.
That's for
Period.
right.
sure.
But they were playing old school politics, old
That's right.
Ford politics.
Yeah.
Let's pardon
That's right.
that whole 9 yards. And I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
I'm just a dumb construction worker, but
Yeah.
I figured it out. Why couldn't they?
Maybe
Oh,
we've learned something. I don't know.
well, the problem is we have to use it,
Yeah.
because I
Mm-hmm.
heard Eric
Swalwell,
Swalwell say
yeah.
that, if we get in again, we have to change, we have to work on what needs to be fixed.
Yep.
And it's not just little things,
No,
it's big.
it is big
It's,
things. This is going to be. There's been so much damage done. It is going to be so difficult to undo.
oh, I
Yeah.
know. I
Yeah.
know. I'll tell you what, the health department and see, it will take us years to ever gain back the um the part we had in the world for disease, medication. I mean, we were leaders and we've lost it
I know.
all of it.
Now we're at the bottom. I mean,
I know.
it's just. I mean, we should with all the money that we have, we should have free healthcare. And it's funny
Absolutely.
the people who are the most poor are the ones that are supporting this stuff.
I
I
It's
know.
know.
like calling me a communist because I was union. It's like, okay, how would I go about bargaining with a big company as an individual? The idea is you get together with a group of people and then hire people that know how to do these things and collective bargaining and
Yeah,
that's how we got um 40-hour work weeks and 8-hour work days and weekends off.
I
That's
know.
this
But
and labor laws and safety in the workplace. When I first started in sheet metal, I mean, the crap that we had to do was ridiculous, and more safety things have come in, and it got to the point where, I mean, I was really on board with all of that stuff, you know. But what happens is, you're called a communist. I mean, I just recently read The Grapes of Wrath. And
oh,
Oh,
it's the
wow.
same story. It's the same
It
story.
is.
It's like the companies pretty much own you, and then if you try to strike, they call you a red. But who are the real reds? Who are the real communists? Who's getting the real socialism?
Right.
Businesses. The very people
Yes.
that are calling us communists, they're the
well,
ones getting.
that's the whole thing Karen and I talked about today is they project everything they do
Yep.
on the other side.
Exactly. That's what
Right.
narcissists do.
So
They project.
that's definitely it.
Yeah.
And I read The Radium Girls. Did you know what that book is? It's about the
Yeah.
women
So.
that work with the radium, and they were just being
Yep.
gaslit all the way that this everything was fine, and they were horrible stuff
Yep.
Yeah.
before
But
there
you
were
know
any.
that's like the book or the movie Numbers. Is that right?
Yeah,
No, the
numbers.
one
Yeah,
where the two women who put
yeah,
the first man on the moon and they
yeah.
were black
Oh. Oh
women.
yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. That was eye opening for me
Because
because that was kind of a story that was kind of hidden
you
away.
never knew these kind of things. Tulsa, the story of Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
I mean, I
absolutely.
never heard anything like that in history, and then all of a sudden
no,
this story comes out, and it's like, wait, what?
yeah.
I
We're
know.
learning. We're learning.
Yeah.
We're
Well,
very slow
Well,
learners in
and
this country.
that's what really being a historian is about not um because the history that we learned in school was just watered down bullshit. Excuse my
We talked
language.
about that today. We
And
yeah,
didn't know a
yeah.
lot of
there
stuff.
is so much more out there. It's like critical race theory. I've read some books on critical race theory. This
Oh,
is our history. This isn't revisionist or anything else. What's revisionist history is the history we learned. That was
Well, and they're
revisionist history.
they're
right,
whitewashing it even more now.
Yeah,
And they want to take everything out of
right.
the museums and.
I knew a
Misowning. Yeah.
Tuskegee Airman. He was a customer of mine at Oliver's in California when I worked at a grocery store there. He was a regular customer. He's deceased now, but yeah, I mean, and he was a hero. And now they're going to erase that because he's black.
Oh, I
It's
know. And
disgusting.
I just heard a few minutes ago in Iowa. I think it's in Iowa, you guys. He's the superintendent of the schools. The ICE took him,
Oh God.
and they showed a picture of him. His name's Ian. I can't think of his last name. Anyway, he's black,
Oh
and he's gone. And they can't find. Well, I'm sure we're gonna find him because he's important enough that somebody will care.
yeah.
But
Hopefully.
we just one of the things, this sounds silly, but it's the way I work in my head sometimes. This whole thing about Alligator Alley, down at or
Alligator.
Alcatraz.
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
Alligator
there
Auschwitz.
that's exactly what it is. It should
Yep.
be Auschwitz. But there are people who don't believe that happened.
I know.
But they have taken DACA kids to
Yep.
down there, and
Yep.
they're probably part of the 1,200 missing.
Yep.
Okay, those people served in our army, our Air Force. They
Marines.
work as policemen. They're nurses. They've gone to college. They've never known anywhere but here for a home.
Did you know that
And
the
we're
overwhelming majority of people that have been picked up and kidnapped, because that's all it is, by ICE,
right.
were actually here legally in some
Oh, I
way.
know.
Refugees or on a visa that this guy just comes in and revokes them out of the blue.
But if all you do is listen to Fox News, they're all
Criminals.
bad.
They're all gang members.
They're all
Yeah,
criminals.
I know.
Yeah.
Just like
And
that.
they're not.
Yeah, just like that guy.
But why do
And,
we
and
have?
I have a lot of people in my family who are Trumpers, I have to say.
Yeah.
And they say, well, they broke the law.
Nope.
They came here and broke the law. I said, yeah, you mean like Trump breaks the law like that?
Well, that's what's so weird about it. It's like it was determined that he raped a woman. It wasn't in criminal court, but it was in
Right.
civil court. He determined that he raped a woman. He's clearly on the Epstein list. We know. I mean, I know he's on the Flight Manifest. I've seen it.
Yeah.
And he's
Oh,
been
but they don't believe
convicted.
they don't believe any of that's true.
Well, it's like, oh, that was lawfare, and it's like he was indicted by a grand jury of his peers, by
Yeah, that's right.
regular people, and he was convicted by a jury of his peers. That's not lawfare, and this wasn't
Right.
it wasn't federal. So it's like
They're picking
Biden had
on
nothing to
him.
do with it.
Mark, don't you know everybody's just picking on him?
I know.
They say he could cure cancer and they would still pick on him. He can't cure cancer because he cut all the funding.
Right. Well, I mean, and that's it. It's like, well, that's what cracks me up is if it was Clinton, they would say that, oh yeah, of course he raped those women, or whatever. But
Right.
I agree. I mean, the guy was a scumbag. I mean,
He
I
was.
was never a fan of Clinton. I actually did vote for him once, but then I did not vote for him again
Yeah.
after that because of what he was. And
Mhm.
um,
I guess
but
the thing that bothers me the most is the way that the Christian nationalists
uh,
have co-opted Christianity.
yes,
I don't even wear a cross anymore because I don't want to be considered part of that.
yeah,
No.
And I am Christian. I believe I'm
I,
Christian. I was raised Catholic. I went to
okay.
Catholic school, you know.
Now they don't consider that Christian, by the way.
Oh, I know.
I know, yeah,
Yeah.
but
But
they are. I
the
mean, having been raised a Catholic, I can attest to the fact that Catholics do believe in Jesus Christ and in Jesus' teachings,
Some
and
of us do, not
yeah,
all of us.
and
yeah,
Protestantism is based on Catholicism. And if you
right.
really
Correct.
want the truth from me, if you go back to before Nicaea and some of these other things, Christianity was a very different thing, and there were many Christianities. As a matter of fact, there was
And there were some really bad
yeah,
people too.
and
I get that. But
and if you go back to the era of Paul, the first century, stop that,
what are you doing, Karen? Stop
stop
it.
it,
Sorry. Sorry.
stop it.
I want to write a word down because I'm going to forget.
Call me later. um, but Paul changed a lot already because if you read Paul's letters and you read Acts, which kind of glosses over what really happened, he had disputes with with the apostles, and he called them the super apostles. And the original Jerusalem church, they were just a sect of Judaism. And if you really study Jesus, which I've read the Bible many times, and I've studied Christianity, it fascinates me. Jesus, his movement was to reform Judaism, and his focus was on the Ten Commandments, not what he
Right.
called the man-made laws, which were actually written during the Babylonian diaspora. I
Mm,
don't know if you're familiar with that, but
mm-mm.
the Jews broke up into two separate countries. The northern was Israel, the southern was Judea. And
Right.
Israel was conquered by the Assyrians, and they were assimilated. It ceased to exist.
Oh.
But Judea existed afterwards, and that's where Jerusalem is. And they were conquered by Babylon, and the Babylonians destroyed Solomon's temple, and they sent the Jews into diaspora, into Babylon, and tried to assimilate them. But they were clever, and that's when they wrote books like Leviticus and Deuteronomy. See, it was actually written over a period of time. And those were extra, and they said that, oh, these were things that we found in the temple before we left, but they weren't. They were written by the priests. And
Hmm.
see, Jews in the first century knew this and they understood this. So did Jesus, and that's what he was preaching against. That's why he stopped the woman, or stopped the crowd from stoning the woman who was
Stoning
an
a woman.
Oh, right.
adulteress, because those were Leviticus laws. Those were those kind of laws. And on the Sermon on the Mount, he sums up what they ask him. What, the Pharisees come and ask him, what is the law? And he sums up the law as to love your God, and the second one, most important one, is
Love,
similar to that: love your fellow
love your
man.
neighbor.
And
That's
and
right.
and if you look at the Ten Commandments, that is what it's about. It's
That's
about
right.
loving God. The first three, which are on one tablet, and then the second tablet was how you treat your fellow citizens, including they like to cherry pick, and they always, yeah, but it says that you can't sleep with a man can't sleep with another man. It says that in Leviticus. It's like, it also says that you can't commit adultery. It also says that you can't wear clothing with two different threads. It also says that when you glean your field, when you harvest your field, that you should leave the edges of that field so that poor people could come and take off of those and eat, so that they can eat. Well, how many of you do that?
Yeah.
But you
That's
want to
right.
cherry pick the one thing. And how many of you are adulterers? But you don't want to
Right.
focus on that. And that's what
Mhm.
Jesus was trying to say. It's like, these laws, the ones that are where you treat your fellow man correctly
They
and
don't. They don't
nicely,
like those. So they
are
don't
the
like those.
ones that you are supposed to follow, not these other ones, not eating shellfish and stuff like that. and
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
after we had 4 kids, I was all upset about, Catholic Church says you can't, do birth control and all that.
hmm
And my husband said, well, by the time we have 12 kids, they'll change the law. Just forget about
I
that.
know, right? Right. And they have,
Well,
and they have.
And they have, yeah.
well, I wanted to bring up two things that I wanted to say before and I didn't.
Okay.
One of the things is before we go off Christian, national Christian nationalism,
Yeah.
I want to know who's going to be in charge. Is the Catholic Church going to be in charge?
Oh no.
Or the Methodist Church?
Right.
Or the Presbyterian Church? Because that is going to be an issue.
Yeah.
Going to be
It's
the
going
Church of
to be
Trump.
a huge issue.
Yeah, it's going to be
What?
some evangelical with a mega church wearing Rolex
Right.
watches and riding in private jets, which is about
Raking
as
in the dough.
unchristian as you can get.
Right, right.
Tell
But
them
that has always, and then the other thing is, which we've not touched on, but it drives me crazy, chaos. I can't take the chaos.
Oh
It's
God.
every day, all day. You just kind of take a deep breath and think, oh, it's been quiet, and wham.
Yep.
Well, with all the horrible stuff going on, the newest tweet was putting a tariff on bathroom vanities. What the hell? Who cares
I
about
know.
bathroom vanities?
We were
Or 100% on prescription drugs.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, but wait, what? But he's going to give us a 14,000% discount on it, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I know. Does he
can't
know
wait
that's
for that.
free? I
Yeah,
hope he
they're
knows
going to
that.
pay. So the drug companies are going to pay me to use their drug. That's what it would
Right.
be. They'd be paying me a lot
That's
of money
right.
too. That's all I
I
got to
know.
say. I mean, how
I
how
know.
ignorant. Well,
Oh,
I
how,
know.
did you love his speech in England?
Oh,
Talk
but
about
and the one at the
talk about a
UN.
child.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that.
Oh,
Why didn't they walk out? Why didn't the rest of the UN walk out when he said your countries are going to go to hell? I know
Oh,
how
I
to do
know.
this
He
stuff.
should have been speaking
I
to an empty room. Yeah, agreed.
I know.
I don't get it.
Our standing on the world globe is gone.
Well, and he acts like
Well-
it's funny. He says now everybody respects us again. It's like what? Nobody
Who's that?
respects us. They think we're a bunch of clowns.
Well,
I
I
know.
think his sycophants are whispering in his ear that he's so great all the time.
Well, that's what you do with a narcissist. That's how you keep in good terms with them.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're not
Right.
constantly massaging their ego, then you're out.
Well, do you
Yeah.
have a I'm not trying to start trouble here, but do you have a time limit on this or anything?
No, start
Oh,
and
okay.
and please and by all means start trouble. That's what this is all about.
Well,
That's
I
what when
wanted to
people
tell
say,
you,
"Oh, I don't
I-
want any trouble." It's like I do.
Good trouble though. Good trouble.
Well, I just heard that Hakeem Jeffries, who is not, I like him, but it's kind
Yeah.
of a love-hate relationship.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah.
But anyway, he today finally came forward and said, why is the president of the United States at a golf tournament when in 4 days the government is going to shut down?
Right.
That is
He-
not his job.
Trump is not willing to work with the Democrats because he wants to blame them for the shutdown. That's all there is to it. I got to turn a light on. It's getting dark in here.
Oh, I know. I thought it was kind of dark there. I wondered what happened. But it's just, oh my gosh, we could go on for hours, Mark.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
There's
And
so much.
if either one of you or both of you want to come on again, I mean, I'm happy to have you.
Well, I think it's just sort of for our own mental health to talk about it with
Yeah.
like-minded people, but
Yeah.
you never know quite who those people are sometimes.
Right. And I'll tell you what, shows like this on YouTube, they do better when it's a discussion like this. They
Mhm.
people want to hear this. They want to hear a discussion instead of just hearing me blather on about something.
Yeah.
Well,
Well-
the one thing I would like to say is, if Trump had come on the scene, I would not have liked him no matter what. But if he had done some, maybe questionable policies, but he didn't go batshit crazy on everything, I would have given him a little bit of leeway and say, let's see if these work.
Yeah.
Let's see if this helps. But when
Yeah.
you start firing thousands of people and getting our information
Right.
all out there and bringing all these
Yeah.
unqualified people in, and okay, then I'm done.
And there's certain things I didn't disagree with, but he just really
Yeah.
hasn't done those. It's like he wanted to go after the cartels, And I'm like, I'm all for that.
I'm
I
all
mean,
for, and he,
if he wants to, I mean, even if he wants to do drone strikes on him in Mexico, I'm actually
yeah.
okay with that in a
Well, and
way
he build, go ahead, build the wall. I don't care.
because they're
Just
monsters.
let's be normal about it, though. Let's
Right.
be
Yeah,
lawful about it.
exactly. And I
Yeah.
don't,
But
and I agree we should know who's in our country
Yeah.
and
I,
that people should come here legally, but let's not just start deporting people. In fact, we're not even doing that. We're not even deporting people that are illegal. Most of them the overwhelming majority are people that came here legally in some way. Let's
mm,
have a path to citizenship.
let's do it the right
Let's
well,
go
way.
ahead and round up those people that came here legally, penalize them. I mean, I've been for that for a long time. Um,
but you know what? Like DACA, those people
it's not their
do
fault.
not have a pathway to citizenship.
No, they never
None.
have, and the Democrats didn't
No,
even give it to them.
No,
no.
and
And
Yeah,
that's the thing. Nobody's done it
Obama
for
wanted
years.
to, but he backed off.
Obama danced around it and gave us a watered down version of the same thing. Yeah, I know.
But
I was furious about it.
at least he did DACA. But the problem is he should have made it that they had a path to citizenship.
Yeah,
Period.
yeah, they should
But
have because it's not their
I
fault.
just no,
Those kids,
no.
those kids came, and we shouldn't. And if you're born here, I'm sorry. That's what the 14th Amendment means. And
That's right.
if you go and read the arguments in the Senate when they passed it, that was exactly what they determined. I remember people used to post the first paragraph of that and say, "See, it was never intended to be this way." And I said, "Yeah, but if you read the whole thing, you'll see that that's what happens in these committees is you have an argument about it, you have a discussion, and it's the end result that you vote on,
That's
not what
mm,
was originally intended necessarily. And the end
right.
result was that yeah, if you're born here, you are a citizen. Period.
That's right. Period. Yeah. I don't know. To be honest with you, I've thought about, I think California, Oregon, and Washington should secede. They could survive on their own.
I know. Then California needs to take over Arizona so that New Mexico can also join them because we're stuck.
Yeah.
We're stuck between Texas and Arizona. It's like
Wait a minute.
Yeah. Well, and the
Don't forget
problem,
about Michigan. What's Michigan?
yeah,
I'm
we
gonna
we
we'll be
told
part of
Canada we'd
Canada.
come to them.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
But and that's the other thing. This bullying of Canada and the bullying of Greenland and
Oh my
Panama.
God.
And now I heard today he's giving $20 billion to the Argentina dictator who got ousted.
Oh yeah, Bolsonaro.
Yeah,
Is
Who it
that
is?
yeah,
our
Yeah.
I
money?
think it is.
Is he giving our money?
Yeah.
Doesn't
Oh yeah.
Congress have to
He's
say
not giving
something
his
about
money.
No,
He's
right. Are
made
you sure of that?
$5 billion while he's been in
Yeah,
office.
and
$5
Congress is
billion
just letting
dollars.
them do it. I don't
I
understand
know,
it.
and
I
that's the thing.
really,
It totally all of it's illegal. You're not.
I know.
That's
I
what's just
know.
amazing.
yeah.
If anybody else ever did this, it's like the hypocrisy is just astounding to me.
Oh,
It's
it
like
just
his
is
golf game. He's played more golf than anybody ever,
Ever.
and that's all he did was they're out playing golf and this and
Do you
that,
know
and
what
it's
it
like
and what it costs every time he goes? What it costs us?
costs a
no.
fortune, costs a
And
lot
then
of
I know.
money.
okay, so Karen and I were talking about this gold ballroom he wants to build.
Oh God.
And she said, if Democrats get in, we should tear it down. I said, no, 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 don't tear it down. It should be open to the homeless every night so they have a place to
Oh
go.
right. Or a mu-
That would really, that would really
or a
tick them off.
museum about fascism.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I mean, the
yeah,
whole thing is just, I want to puke when I
right.
see all that
But
gold.
you know,
Right.
I heard someone talking since I came home. It must have been on the internet about this ballroom is proof that Trump has no intentions of
Of
leaving.
leaving. No kidding.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
He would not do this
Somebody
if
just
he
told
was
me
leaving.
those Trump 2028 hats are because they're going to run one of his kids.
Yeah, Junior's
Yeah.
talking about running, and that
His elections.
and he isn't. Well, the guy's an idiot. He's also a coke addict. It's pretty clear from it is the way he with his mouth and everything. It's especially when it used to make me laugh. He'd be on his stupid podcast or whatever, or his one of his late night binges, talking about Hunter Biden. And then you're
Oh,
looking at him the way he's moving his mouth and everything. It's like classic somebody who's done coke.
I know.
Do you really think we're going to get to have the midterm elections?
I don't.
I
I
don't
No,
don't.
I
either.
don't
I'm
either.
really scared that we're not going to have
No,
them.
I haven't felt that way, and it looks more and more like
Boy.
he's gonna find a way. I mean, he's been pushing the envelope, with I mean, he wants to make donating to the Democratic Party a RICO offense.
Well,
Oh,
he
I
also,
heard that.
Yeah,
I
Yes.
think he might be blowing up these ships to try to create a war that he thinks he can handle, just so he can declare war and we can't have elections.
yeah, that could be why he's all of a sudden turned against Russia too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Did oh
also he's probably pissed because being a narcissist. I mean, let's face it, Putin has played him like a fiddle, and it's so
Oh, yeah.
obvious. He must be having people saying, "Hey, dude, this is making you look like an idiot." You know?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Uh,
I, I don't know what's going to make me feel better. I don't think anything. So I just take Tylenol PM so I can sleep at night. But I think just getting it off my
Don't do that;
chest
you'll
is
get
help.
autism.
I know. Give it to me. I don't care.
Right?
Anyway,
oh no, I
I
have
feel better
I
talking
have to
about it.
tell you, I sent it to Annette, but it was on Threads, which I don't go on very often. That's a kind of like Substack, but in
Yep.
Instagram, it's an offset.
Yep.
It's all over Threads that today the Kremlin says that
They're at war.
Trump, no, Trump killed Charlie Kirk.
Oh,
Oh
I would
yeah.
believe it. I'm sorry. I've never been a conspiracy theorist, but I would believe that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
kind of lean that way too. And everybody, even right and left, think there's something more to it.
Something's just fishy. Something's
I
fishy.
mean, I've watched gun experts, say that the bullet came from behind, and I mean,
Right.
I don't
That's
know
what I
enough. I
heard
don't
too.
know enough about it, but I've seen other video where it looks like it glances off um,
Jeff.
yeah, which he was wearing. He was wearing
They
armor.
say they say he wasn't.
Yeah,
I
he
I've seen
was.
both.
He
But you know
was.
what?
See, I couldn't tell. I looked, but when I saw the video, Mark, because I saw the actual video of when he
So
got
yeah, I
hit,
did too.
I knew,
That he was gone.
that was it. There was nothing.
Yeah.
They hit the carotid artery
Yep.
dead on,
Yep.
dead on.
I saw it too. It was actually horrifying.
But I saw
Yes, it
a
was.
gunman showing that with that particular gun, they say used, it would have been much more explosive.
Well,
I
that's the
mean, he
thing. It was a 30-06. I mean,
yeah.
Yes.
I know Uncle Mike is, I mean, Grandpa had a 30-06, didn't he?
You know, I don't. Oh, I think he did.
Yeah, I
I think
mean,
he sold it, but I think he
yeah, I
did.
know because he was
Yeah.
talking when I moved to Idaho. He almost gave it to me at one point, and I ended up buying a 7 millimeter for hunting. But yeah, no, that's a big round. It doesn't. Yeah, it looks like it.
I,
I don't
something
know.
just doesn't seem right to
Well,
me.
that's the thing because the exit wound would have been huge with
Should
the
have
thirty
been.
aught
I mean, how did
six.
just? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know enough
And
about it.
and the one and when Trump got shot at in Pennsylvania,
Oh, that's
that did not hit his ear.
no, it
I
didn't.
know what it would have done to his ear.
Oh yeah. Well, and
He wouldn't have an ear.
no, and he would have the percussion of it going by, it would have caused more damage and everything else. It was
Yeah,
nonsense. He was hit by a flying piece of glass or something, or some kind
that's
of
what.
ricochet
Yeah,
of some sort. He did
yeah.
not get his ear
Hmm.
shot off, and if he did get his ear shot
No,
off, he's part lizard because it grew back.
Yeah.
yeah.
So what
Or he
about
had really
his?
good plastic surgery, but
Yeah.
Have you
yeah.
heard of motive for the shooting at the Dallas ICE detention center?
Yeah, I'm still wondering about that. I mean, they
I
claim that
know.
the guy was going after ICE
Anti-ICE.
agents, but all he hit was detainees.
Yeah.
So it
So how
makes
you
you
I
wonder.
know.
So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
And you wonder if this is false flags. It's not the first time. I mean, we know if you read anything about the CIA, we've done stuff like this before. During the Kennedy administration, the CIA had they were going
Oh
to do a
yeah.
false flag against Americans to go to war with Cuba, and luckily Kennedy said, "Yeah, no, that's not going to happen."
Yeah.
Shot
Yeah.
it
Thank
down.
God.
Thank
We don't
God.
know what
Yeah.
we don't know what goes on, and we're never going to
Well,
know.
we know a lot of what does go on, and we know a lot of what they've done in the past. So what they've done in the past is we need to pay attention to that, and look at the horrible things the CIA has done.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, drugging people without their knowledge. The LSD things that they were, they would infect African American men with syphilis and not tell them that they had it. And so, I
Yeah.
mean, just awful, just horrible. I mean, very
So maybe
Nazi like things.
we might be paying our dues right now. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
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 this
guys,
was good. This
I
was
Yeah.
love
good.
doing this. Anytime,
Yeah.
let me know.
Well, it was nice meeting you, Annette. This was,
Yeah, thank you.
yeah, and always a
I have
pleasure,
to I
Karen.
have to say those carpenter jeans are so strong. You guys all look alike.
I know, right? I know, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to
Yeah.
trim my eyebrows so that they're
Okay.
not that thick.
I don't know if you realize Karen and Mike and my husband and I have been friends for well over 50 years.
Yeah, I mean, I know I've heard of Karen mention you before, so
Yeah.
yeah,
Long time. Long time.
They
yeah.
lived across the street from us, Mark, on
In Portland.
Charlotte.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Came to our house.
Oh okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I remember. I
Yeah.
stayed for about a week, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
don't remember it, but that was a
Yeah,
long time ago.
in Portland.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
In Portland. Yeah.
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 I remember playing with
Okay.
the girls in the down the street and playing over in the cemetery and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot about everybody played in the cemetery.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
it was
Yeah.
really, really nice of you to have us, and I want
Oh
to
yeah,
thank
my
you.
pleasure.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys came on, and we should do it again.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
And if
just let me
you
know.
I'm game.
if you ever
Yeah.
get any like questions that you want to send us in advance to think about or
Yeah.
anything, just
I
let us
thought
know.
about doing that. I
Yeah.
wanted this one to be kind of raw though, and
I
first
know.
time, and let you guys just kind of have your say. Because I talked about that with my girlfriend last night. It's like I'm wondering if I should send them a list of questions that I'm going to ask them, and then I thought, well, you know what? Let's just let them play it off the cuff. It might be for it makes a good it's like we're having a conversation, and
Yeah.
honestly, people like that.
Yes. I
So
am enjoying Substack so much. I just feel like you
Yeah.
find your people.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
Okay. Well, thank you. I think you're doing a good job. I've been following you.
Okay, good. Yeah, no,
Thank
that's what I need. Be sure to like and share, and yeah, share it on Facebook, share it on social media, wherever. Yeah,
Okay.
so let's get it out
Yeah.
there.
the good name,
That's
Marxism. I
what we
love
need
it.
to do.
Yeah, well, it's kind of funny
Because you know
because
what?
yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
oh, because
I was going to say more people have to see this.
Yeah.
yeah, I know. I'd like to see more people. Oh, gee, what happened there?
Will
So
will we be able to see this? How
yeah,
it looks?
I will.
Oh,
Yeah, I will definitely when I upload it to YouTube, I'll send you guys each a link.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Um,
Okay.
Thank you.
But Marxism came from I used to because I've been involved in politics for many years, and I was at work one time, and some other guy starts talking about something, and our shop foreman goes, "That sounds like a Marxism," and
Oh,
I
there
just
you
started
go.
laughing, and
Oh.
he was talking about me, and I'm like, "That's
Yeah.
it," and I went and bought the domain name that day. And this was
Awesome.
many years
Oh.
ago, and this was actually I used it. I had a conservative blog back in the day, and I
Wow.
liked the contrast from Marxism and the fact that I was a conservative, and so I used it. And now I'm just it's my son says yeah, at least it is Marxist now, and it's like no, it's not, because I don't believe in Marxism.
No,
Yeah.
I really enjoy people who have been Republicans because you get a good middle of the road perspective, and that's where I want to sit.
Yeah, exactly, and I that's why I decided to do this again and use that. I mean, I do have I've always kind of been about what the truth was and honesty,
Yeah.
and it's like I've defended when like Obama did stuff good, I defended it to. It's like, well, but I like what he's doing there. It's like, oh, you're a liberal, and it's like, no, I like what he's doing. I don't support him in general, but
Right.
you know,
Mm.
that's and I always thought he was a nice guy. I mean, I have a newspaper article that after his first 100 days, the local paper interviewed me and what I thought, and that was one of the things I said. It's like, yeah, he'd be a great guy to sit down and have a beer with. I mean,
Right.
I don't necessarily agree with him on stuff, but I think he's a decent person.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That goes a long way. Really.
yeah.
The decent person thing.
And I don't think Trump
Mhm.
is a decent person. If he called me up and said, "Let's go have a beer," I'd say, "F you."
Yeah. Yeah.
Although
Yep.
it wouldn't be bad to have his ear, but then I'd probably end up in a gulag somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I'm not good at keeping my mouth
Okay.
shut, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay.
Well,
There's nothing wrong with
Yeah,
that.
we need
Yeah,
more. We need more people like that.
I
So,
agree.
like you.
I
that's right.
agree.
Okay.
All
Well,
right. Well,
thank you, Mark.
You're
I'm gonna
welcome.
go watch
Thank
the
you.
Detroit Tigers, and they better darn win tonight.
I know, right? I've
I,
been rooting for the Lions the last couple years to go to the Super Bowl, and man, they just haven't pulled it off.
they get close. They've gotten close,
They
but not
have.
quite. So,
Maybe this year.
Maybe.
yeah. Let me know. My husband and I go to Arizona for 6 months,
Oh, okay.
5 months, but we can do it from there. This worked out really
Yeah,
great.
Phoenix or
We're in Mesa.
Okay, yeah, right outside of
We're
Phoenix. Yeah.
Karen and my.
They're in the same park we were in,
Oh, yeah.
Mark.
Okay.
Yeah,
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 I know it. Yeah.
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 Okay. Well, I'm
So,
in Las Cruces.
New Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So it's 5 hours.
That's a cool place.
Yeah, I like it
I
here.
like your lady. What's her name?
Sophia, my
Yeah, I
lady.
don't know her. No, I mean the senator or
You like Stansberry.
yes, I
Melanie
like that.
Stansberry.
Yes.
She's actually northern. Mine is Gabe Vasquez.
Okay.
He's all right, but I have my issues
I
with
was
him.
kind of rooting. Did you know Deja Fox?
Who?
Deja Fox was running. I think her name was Deja Fox, Foxx.
Hmm.
She was a real young gal running, and I thought it was New Mexico, but she didn't win. Some kind of a special election.
Oh yeah, that kind of sounds familiar.
Yeah, I thought she was cool, but anyway,
Yeah.
she'll be back.
Yeah,
She'll be
but
back.
Melanie Stansberry is I really like her a lot.
I like her a lot. She's been
Yep.
giving some good information.
Yep.
So
And I follow her on Facebook and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks,
Okay.
Mark. I'm going to
Thank
sign
you.
off, guys.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Okay.
Yes. Thanks for
Thank you.
coming on.
Good to know you.
Yeah. Good to know you. It's my pleasure.
Talk to you later.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right.
Okay. Hey, Mark, I want to see the picture of the dog.
Okay, I will send it to you as soon as I get off here. I'm gonna do my closing.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then we'll go from and I'll send it to you. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, they're gonna
All right,
come. They're gonna
thanks.
they're
This
gonna
was great.
yeah they're gonna drop the dog off tomorrow because they have to do an inspection on my
Oh.
house and everything.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
mostly my backyard. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
This was great. I'm glad we did it.
Yeah. So am
Okay.
I. Let's do it again sometime.
I will. I'm glad to do it. If you want to send some things to think about that we
I
want to
will.
talk about, just let me.
I'll do it. I have
Okay.
both of your email addresses, and I'll send you guys both a list of questions.
Okay.
All right. Perfect.
Thanks. Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you. All right, that'll be it for today's show. Please like and subscribe, share it. It's good to hear other people's perspective, people that have been around in this world for a long time. And those two ladies are both very intelligent. I know that my Aunt Karen is, and I know that she would not hang out with somebody who was a dimwit. And obviously, Annette is a very intelligent person, and it was just really a pleasure having them on. Yep. So